Well, about 10 years ago, we did a fairly full rebuild on this old girl. Repaint, retrim, lots of rust repair, lots and lots of work. About the only thing we didn't do was an engine rebuild, because at the time it didn't need it. At the time it was running beautifully and we left it alone. But it's come back to see us now. It's always nice to see old friends. And it's come back needing a bit of engine love. So we'll be having this one in the workshop for the next few weeks. And we'll see if we can make it all right. New engine is in. It's not actually that far from a fire up now. But I've got to get an oil pipe remade because the old one disintegrated when I took it off. They're a nice tight fit in the chassis. But it'll be a good one, this one, when it's back on the road. The car's beautiful. It's probably one of the best in the world. There are only about 20 of these left. So, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to test driving this. Well, after 2 or 3 days of struggle, and it has been a bit of a struggle, this one's fought me a bit, we've got the new replacement engine into the vehicle. It's an old MRU, but I have rebuilt it. Its MRU plate is down there under the distributor where they always are. I've re-stamped it with all the new sizes. I've now got a set of number stamps that are the right size, teeny weeny 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 weeny, so I can give the right information on an MRU plate. And the big wartime radiator, it's a 5-gallon cooling system, and actually in truth they in a way you're better off without them. They overcool in normal UK temperatures, which is why if I turn around and show you what's here, there's another staff car, another general service saloon as they're correctly called, which has a nose bag on it, just to make sure that it runs up to temperature in normal UK temperatures, or at night in the desert when it drops to sub-zero temperatures in North Africa. You take that off during the day and then run it with the bag on it overnight. So they're quite an expensive radiator to rebuild because they've got a wet box in the middle for the starting handle to go through, and they were of course discontinued straight after the war because they really weren't that necessary in normal conditions. So we've got this in here, and I'm just hoping we can go for a fire up because I've had it running in the test stand, so with a bit of luck it'll just go. And they usually do, but sometimes they fight you a bit. I had a bit of a disagreement with the starter motor this morning, but we seem to have achieved an understanding. Anyway, right, so I'm going to get in and I'm going to switch on and press the button and just see what it does. There we go. Fired straight up. Might want a little bit of choke. It is quite cold here at the moment, but that's very smooth. So I'm just going to walk round to the other side of the car, and anybody who's watching in America will be used to American cars, and the induction and exhaust side of course is on the opposite side of the car because this is a British car and it's right-hand drive. So it's a mirror image of, say, a Dodge 6 or something like that. So I'm going to take this off choke, thus, and then rev the engine just a little bit so it drops off choke and it comes down onto a tick over, which is about 500 RPM, 480 RPM, something like that. Quite slow. Proper traction engine technology this, with a huge flywheel. But just to demonstrate just exactly how smooth these things can be, I'm just going to pop a bolt on top of the Bakelite holder of the spark plug sleeves, and just rev the engine, and it barely moves. That is just so smooth. And obviously I've rebuilt this engine. It was an MRU, but it's been taken out 20 thou and under 20 thou, so it is effectively a new engine. So anyway, I shall shut this down now and tomorrow we'll be putting the sheet metal back on it, and then maybe later in the week, with a little bit of luck, we'll be out for a drive. Here's a thing you won't see very often, a carburetor where you can run it with the top off, so you can top it up with fresh petrol, even though what's in the tank is a little bit stale. Didn't want to start this morning because the petrol's are sort of 6 months old, I suppose, that's in the tank. So we topped off the float bowl with fresh stuff. I'll drain the tank and I'll fill it with fresh before it goes out on the road. Just making sure that you've got a fire extinguisher handy on this one. Well, we've reached the inevitable point where the moment of reckoning has come, and this is going to have to go for a run up the road with its new engine, and we'll see how it goes. It moves under its own steam, and it feels nice, so we shall see, I guess. Do us a favour and like us and follow us if you like this stuff, because I shall be doing plenty more of it, and yeah, soon, because I enjoy it too. So here we are sitting in a World War II staff car, proper one. It's a Humber 4.1 litre Super Snipe, and we've just fitted a rebuilt engine in it. It's very smooth, running about 45 pounds oil pressure. Before anybody says anything, it is the wrong colour. It's a snapshot in time. It's still carrying a wartime census number, but it's actually in bronze green, which would have been about 1947 or 48 when they were painted this colour, after the war, but before it got the post-war military equipment numbers. So it's a very brief snapshot in time when a staff car like this would have actually looked something like this. And now we've got a warm gearbox and we're up through the box nicely. It's got the very, very wandery, vague steering that these staff cars often have, because they're on 913 tyres, which are offset outwards, which messes up all the steering geometry. Civilian cars are actually much more pleasant to drive, but then these weren't really ever expected to be driven at much more than convoy speeds, so it probably didn't matter too much. When I first started driving these cars, I don't know, 30 years ago, I used to collect little old ladies who came up to me and said, "I say, that's a Humber," and they were all terribly upper crust and posh, and they'd all been ATS drivers or fanny drivers during the war, and they absolutely loved Humbers. They had some huge adventures that I was told all about. So let's see if we can get back in the gate before the postman arrives. Yeah, he's still busy with next door, that's all right. Well, for a first test drive, I will call that a success. I think that was all right.